on both channels simultaneously.
Experience the thrill of the grill. John Smith Subs is home of the famous steak bomb and other premium deli subs with grilled-to-order marinated sirloin steak, grilled chicken, farm fresh veggies, and delicious bread baked daily. Our subs are making a name for themselves with quality and flavor. Add an order of piping hot French fries, and you have a meal you can't get anyplace else. Experience the thrill of the grill at John Smith Subs. Visit johnsmithsubs.com to find a location near you.
Oasis Bar and Grill at 4955 South Decatur near the corner of Trop has been totally renovated. It features incredible food with a kitchen that's open 24/7. Gaming promotions every month. There are cashback drawings for loyal players. The banquet room is spacious and a great venue for any type of function. Sports fans won't miss any of the action with HD TVs throughout the property. Oasis is a great place to meet and make new friends. The staff is fun and engaging. Get in on the fun with great food, great drink, and gaming promotions at Oasis Bar and Grill, 4955 South Decatur.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards on every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to stationcasinosports.com or sign up at any Station Casino, Fiesta Wildfire, or the El Cortez. Details at the sportsbooks.
Terrible Hearst has been serving the Las Vegas Valley for 60 years. Everyone knows Terrible's is the place to go for a quick snack, a hot cup of coffee, or a cold drink. Terrible's is the perfect place for a fill-up, and with over 100 locations in the Las Vegas Valley, there's always a Terrible's near you. And now Terrible's has an app. The Terrible Herbs app features games to play, special offers, deals, and promotions. Just go to your app store and download the Terrible Herbs app. Discover all the benefits of being a loyal Terrible Herbs customer on the new Terrible Herbs app, available at the App Store.
Don DeMarco's Pizzeria and Bar at 9785 West Charleston near Wallapai features the best pizza, pasta, happy hour, and patio. Every day from 2 to 4, every pizza is half price. Every day, 2 to 6, all drinks, cocktail, wine, and beer, 50% off. At 9785 West Charleston near Wallapai, Don DeMarco's Pizzeria and Bar is open for in-house dining, takeout, and call direct to save the delivery fee at 702-570-7000. That's 702-570-7000. The brand new Golden Circle Sports Book and Sports Bar is up and running, and it's a big hit. Spacious seating featuring great food and drink. It's bigger and better than ever. Beer, bets, and bites. Large TVs display every major sporting event, and now the Golden Circle Sports Bar is adjacent to the beautiful new sports book at TI. Don't forget, easy access in and out of the Golden Circle Sports Book and Sports Bar, and parking is always free at Treasure Island.
Hi, this is Derek Stevens. Download your new sports betting app with Circus Sports. Get 24/7 access to a dynamic sports betting menu, including props, futures, cross-sport parlays, in-game wagering, and more. Sign up for the mobile wagering app at circusports.com. Then visit one of our downtown Las Vegas sports books at the D or the Golden Gate to activate and fund your mobile wagering account. Learn more at circusports.com.
I'm attorney Adam Cutner. I've been a lifelong fan of the NHL and even played hockey myself in college. The game taught me that you have to be aggressive to score goals and win games. And being aggressive is just as important when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Cutner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
It's a jaw-dropping experience every time you walk into the Superbook at the Westgate. When it comes to watching the big game, there's no better viewing experience in Las Vegas than the massive screens in the Superbook. The Superbook Sports app features an incredible array of offerings, and it's not just about the game. Jake Cornegay's odds-making team posts numerous props and indexes for major sporting events. The Superbook is an industry leader, offering fair odds and props. Make sure you're not on the sidelines and sign up for the Superbook.
If you have any questions, please call the Skyview Network.
If you're like me, then you like to keep your car clean, but it always seems to rain right after you leave. You're not alone. Thankfully, there's the unlimited monthly car wash plan from Terrible Herbst. You don't have to worry about the rain on the 9th day or the 10-day forecast or the black cloud on the horizon while you drive to the car wash because, light bulb, you can wash your car every single day. So head into a Terrible Herbs car wash today and pick a plan that works for you.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey, and I've been a lifelong fan of the NHL. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
If you have any questions,
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump, and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, and the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game.
All right, this is going to be a treat for us today. Vegas Hockey Island, AM 1400 KSHP. Brian Blessing, Stevie Slapshot. Certain someone showed up, Stevie.
Yeah, we left the door open and Bill Foley walked in.
That's one way to get in the door. We're thrilled Bill's taking time to come. It's good to see you again. It's good to see anybody again.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Boy,
we saw you.
I don't think I've even been here. I haven't been in Vegas since June.
You were here right after things shut down. And remember, you said, I'm not selling 10 cents of the stock, and you bingo, you were right about that.
Well, I should have bought everything.
Yeah, there you go. But no, you were very adamant about that. But I'm just curious, for you, the pandemic from the business side of things, not hockey, your FNF, all the other things you do, how has that impacted, that main focus of your existence here on a daily basis? How is that altered?
No, they're actually, all those companies are sort of, they're all recurring revenue models, and they're all doing great. I mean, FNF is transactional because it's title insurance, but title insurance is going through the roof. Rates are very low, so we're having record quarters right now. And then our other key companies, Black Knight, Dun & Bradstreet, Kenai, they're all doing great.
And you were very adaptable. I mean, I guess we all do it now, the Zoom calls and things of that nature, but nobody's really huddled together, right? You're all kind of working from different places, and that's working out okay?
Yes, the Zoom calls or team calls. Now, here in town, we have a small group, and those guys are all in the office. We all have our own offices, and we pretty much social distance. But so when I'm in town here, we get together and we talk, and we're working on our various transactions and so on.
And the family, Carol, and everybody okay?
Yeah, bored. Lockdown.
We're bored.
Bored. I mean,
We're bored. We saw a new acquisition on a beach. Boy, you got Rock Creek. You bought a joint in California, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I did. Well, we had a place over there in Santa Barbara, and then we we're selling that, and we bought another place. It's a little bigger.
I'd like to have this kind of boredom in my life.
Let's just get to. We got so much to get to, and we can't thank you enough for coming in. Let's start with how it ended. The bubble, the run, the whole thing. What was your take on, and how were you following the journey they went through?
Yeah, so I didn't go up there because I was been a 14-day quarantine. I could have gone up for about a 4-day quarantine, but I was worried that we might not advance, which we didn't. We got to the conference finals, but we didn't get to the Stanley Cup. I thought that they did a good job on the bubble, but I feel like our guys got a little worn out. They just got tired of being isolated and I think that I feel like that showed against Dallas. I think it started showing against Vancouver, and I think it showed against Dallas. And we just weren't the same team that we were earlier in the playoffs. So it's too bad. I believe we've been playing at home, we would have beaten Dallas, and we would have been in the Stanley Cup, and then we would have seen what happened.
I'm not making excuses here, but at least it's a discussion to have that we don't know how any individual would deal with that, being sequestered away from family. And it's easy for us to say, go out and play hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about things that went well and went poorly on the ice. But between the ears for these guys, it couldn't have been easy for anybody.
No, I don't think it was easy at all. And Dallas survived it. Of course, they didn't do that well in the finals, but and Tampa Bay survived it. But I just think we broke down a little bit. I just saw a difference in our game as we started getting into the Dallas series, which is unfortunate. But now we got to do it again. Now we got to get going again.
The frustration of not scoring goals specifically. When we say the players were squeezing their stick, were you throwing the remote at the TV?
Well, I couldn't believe we had so many shots, and we made those goalies look good, I guess. But they played great. Congratulations. But it was disappointing, really.
How about the league pulling this off and getting through it? What was your take on just the big picture that they found a way?
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought it was great. We got to play hockey, and we got NHL exposure again. It was in Canada, so it's remote from all of us, and we really couldn't participate in it. But I thought the commissioner did a great job putting this together and keeping people safe. So hats off to him.
Phil, you're no longer the Golden Misfits. This team has changed, completely different now as we head into 2021 season. How are you guys addressing making sure that the chemistry is flowing nicely on ice and off ice?
Yeah, so I don't like some of the things that we've had to do to get better. We're a group that's committed to get better, and it really troubled me that we had to trade Schmitty. He's a really great guy. He's a great teammate. The guys all like him. I think we kind of shook everything up a little bit when we were working on the Pietrangelo deal, with people being nervous relative to possibly being traded. So we're kind of done. We're through with that now. And we looked at a lot of different options, and it is mixing things up a little bit, which I'm not a fan of. I am a fan of Alex Pietrangelo, so I really think I believe he's a difference maker for us.
Can we talk about? We'll get into him, but the model, it's remarkable. The 3-year run, you had an expansion team, and I always say I'll never forget. It was a game about a dozen games in against St. Louis when the Golden Knights. The Blues were throwing the sink at them, and then Vegas got 2 goals at the end of the period, and the Blues are like, what's going on? And it was like one of those nights where the plan, the mission statement, it all changed. And then we know you went to the final. But to see where you are now, you've been in on every big fish. You're in on the Carlson thing. It didn't pan out. You get Stone. Now you get Pietrangelo. I'm seeing reports from Elliot Freeman that maybe you're even kicking the tires on Taylor Hall. But you get league-wide praise for your aggressiveness, your deep pockets, and your want and to win and give McPhee and Crimmon that ability to do it. But that business model of always looking after the big fish, when was that the plan all along?
Not really. Honestly, it's just an opportunity. So Mark Stone was an opportunity, and we really wanted to get him, and we did, a year and a half ago. And we paid a fair price for Mark, but he's the chemistry in that team. He's a very strong player, and he's an elite. He's an elite winger. And then the whole Pietrangelo, it's like, this is an opportunity for us. He is an outstanding D-man. He's going to help our defensive core. He's going to be with us a long time. So we have made a big commitment. If we didn't have this cap situation, we're at 81.5, we could be a lot more flexible. So we're right against the cap.
To that end, you're not going to hit a home run every time you do anything. I'm sure you've made mistakes in business.
Oh, sure.
They're not a home runs. All right. Asset management. But if we just revisit the big picture where we stand, in the pickle you kind of were in here where Schmidt had to go. And not fair market value, obviously. I think he was worth a lot more than a third rounder, but you had to unload money. And maybe there were other things that could be done, and we'll get to the goalies and all of that. But at the end of the day, when you review the first 3 years, And like Brian Burke, the former general manager, he said, listen, you make a mistake, fix it. Don't try to hope for the best. You cut the cord and fix it. So, okay. But at the end of the day, what added up for Max Pacioretty was Thomas Tatar, a first, 2 seconds, a third, and Nick Suzuki. That's a lot of assets that went into him. I mean, the Stevenson acquisition, go back to Carpenter, those kind of, they're all good. But at the end of the day, and I know the mission statement changed because that first year, but not having some of those assets also kind of puts you in a pickle here that Schmidt is no longer here.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we'd done something different with Tatar. Turk really didn't want to play, and that was the issue with Tatar. He's a valuable player, but when we got him, he moved up and down the line and never was consistent on any line. And he's a real good player. He's a real good guy. And he had been hurt the year before, but by the time he left, he was in good shape. So that I regret what we did with Tatar, and then we gave up Suzuki as well. And Suzuki's not playing for Miami. He's at Montreal. He's first or second line, I don't know which. But so yeah, I don't think that was a great move on our part. We get a lot of assets.
Well, they can't. I mean, let me get an excuse here. They can't all be home runs, and you got to fix it. But it's funny. I mean, you sit there and say there'll come a day where maybe the back end of the Stone and the Pietrangelo contracts, and nobody's worried about that today. But you look down the road. But you go back to the Tatar thing and some of those assets, and you look that Schmidt had to go here. And is there a chronology of things that if something different would have been done on the front end to clear space for Pietrangelo, then Schmidt's going for a true hockey deal, not a third-round pick.
Yeah, or we wouldn't have traded him at all. He would have been part of the team because he's a great teammate. He's a really good guy.
How much does that hurt you?
Well, I think maybe I'm too involved with these guys.
Yeah,
I'm getting worried about that because I'm too. It affects me too much.
Are you different with this hockey team than you are in business?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The hockey team is personal. Business is business, and I try and surround myself with really strong people in business. And if someone's not working out, we effect to trade them.
So is that the true definition of delegating out the business side of this? Is McCrimmon and McPhee?
Yeah. So I try not to get involved with it. I'm in the meetings. I express myself on a number of different guys that they were thinking about, and I was trying to minimize change. Honestly, I wanted to keep it as minimal as possible. And I love Paul Stastny. He's a great guy, but he wasn't going to be in the future of the team. He had one more year, and we needed the cap space badly, and we've got him covered. So that one was pretty acceptable to me.
I'm not trying to give you an out here, but the pandemic and the flat cap, and had this gone up, I mean, everybody has to deal with it. But when we're revisiting some of the moves that led to where we are today, had the pandemic not hit, would the plan not have been so painful?
It wouldn't have been as painful. We would have playoff money. We would have more cash in the bank. We'd be playing in front of fans. And the cap had gone up a bit. We could have been more judicious about how we utilize the cap. But it's not going up. It's not going up next year. So there are other teams that are in deep trouble too. That's why the Islanders, that's why they had to move out a guy, and they didn't want to do that.
I asked Kelly McCrimmon this the other night. Okay, you're cap compliant. You got your guy. But does the phone continue to ring? Do you continue to explore other options? And he gave, a pretty solid GM answer. They're where they are right now. But he thought there was going to be a day or two. In fact, Stevie, Jake Allen just signed with the Canadians.
I did not. Okay.
So now we're just sitting here talking about $12 million in goalies here. $14 million.
Wow.
$14 million in goalies with Price and Jake Allen. But to that end, he said he thought there'd be another day or two. So right about now, he thinks it'll quiet down, calm down until we get the training camp, when that may be. Do you think you're done? Is this who you're going to battle with?
Yeah, this is. I think we're done for this season.
I don't think there's much of anything else going to happen. The money's dried up, so teams just can't take on contracts. And if you're going to do something, you've got to get rid of the contract. And no one's. And I think we have good contracts. We have term, and they're fairly reasonable. All the forwards and key men are all reasonably priced. So I believe we're in a good spot. It just hurts me that we don't have Smitty.
All right, well, you know what, let's not move away from him for 1 second, because I can be been doing this for a long time, trust the old curmudgeon. Listen, we're here to cover a team and not be friends with these guys. He and Brad Hunt, and I mean this with all sincerity, are two of the nicest people. Win, lose, draw. A brutal loss, or he made a mistake. I remember the one night it was a 3-on-3, and maybe he was a late change or something. It was his fault, and the goal was scored. Front and center, he's there, accountable. Always had a smile on his face. Is genuinely one of the nicest people you will ever meet, and that shouldn't go without saying.
But you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Now, I do feel like we did our very best to put these guys in a good spot. So when Brad Hunt was traded, he went to Minnesota. That's where his wife was from. He got just up there, and it's a good situation for him. And I thought we did with Smitty. I thought we put him in a good spot. He's going to a great city. The team's a good.
He's got
team.
friends, former teammates.
He's got Hope. He's got Holtby and Beagle both on the team. They're both his buddies. So he's going to be in a nice city. So
if you had your druthers, though, would you not be, having
you got to help the team in your own division.
Guy coming back at you.
Yeah, but they're going to be playing the Canadian division this year.
So. By the way, okay, you bring that up because we'll get to the Silver Knights at some point. But reading these reports now, the uncertainty of next year. You said the Canadian division. Even if we're talking about the viability of the AHL, they're talking about Edmonton's affiliates in Bakersfield. Utica is for Vancouver, right? And what is it? Calgary's got Stockton. Mm-hmm. They're talking about those three teams just flat out going north of the border because the border is a big deal.
It is a big deal. You can't.
Big picture. What are we looking at?
I don't think I don't think that border is going to be open before January 1st. If it's open January 1st, I really don't, because Canada's going through. They've got spikes going on, and they're starting to lock down again. Winnipeg's locking down, so Quebec has got spikes going on. So, I think they're going to play a Canadian division. I don't think they're going to be crossing the border.
Board of Governors and with the commissioner, big picture plans A, B, C, and D. I mean, that's okay. Hockey's back. Fans are at games. Yeah, Merry Christmas. That's what we all want. But how quirky could the playing field be? How nuts could the landscape be?
What about size of rosters? Might the rosters be expanded?
Yeah, but first of all, just in terms of, we've heard stuff. I don't know. There's a Canadian division where the Canadian teams just stay north of the border. Yeah. Before we get to the rosters, let's get back to that. Is nuts, right? Who knows?
Well, who knows who's going to be playing? If we're not playing in front of fans, I don't know how a lot of teams can make it, including us. It's going to be very difficult. You've got to make a serious financial commitment to fund the team if we're not playing in front of fans. I believe Gary Bettman's not going to be having us fly all around and play in empty arenas. There's going to be another plan, and we'll see. And he's talking about January 1st. I don't know. Maybe February 1st. Maybe an abbreviated season and an accelerated season. It's one reason why I was really in favor of keeping both goalies. I really felt like we're going to be playing 4 games and 7 nights every week. There's going to be a back-to-back almost every week. I thought we could really use the 2 G1 goalies that we have. So I was always working to keep those 2 goalies in town. And plus, Fleury's the face of the franchise. I'm involved with him. I don't want him going anymore.
All right, so we shifted gears here, and that's believe it. Then we were going to get to that. Let me just stick with the landscape and what it could be. And I'm not looking for your spreadsheet here, but to get the third jersey. Okay, great. Hey, a lot of money's coming in. Merchandising, what this market turned into, fans in the stands. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not looking for your bottom line, but like the punch to the gut, the financials, and the cost of doing business, and what this is all meant, and what it could look like moving forward from an owner's perspective. And you look at bottom lines. What kind of dollars are we talking about?
Lose 125 million if we don't play in front of fans.
I mean, it's nice unless you got a lot of money. It's funny. I'm one of the few guys that defends owners, and not because we get along good. But just because you have money doesn't mean you're the guy that has to take a big lighter to it.
That's true.
Right? No, I don't begrudge players. Get the money while you can. I mean, we just saw it, Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge these guys anything, but from an owner's perspective, and you've got 30 and soon to be 31 other colleagues in this regard. But what are these guys talking about in terms of the dollars and what's going to happen moving forward?
Yeah, I think everyone's very nervous. I'm very nervous because we all thought that we'd probably be working our way out of COVID by now, and we'd have fans in the arena. So I think we've got to see what we can accomplish with partial fans, 40%, 50%. Can we get that many people in the arena and have it be done safely? Can they all get tested with a nasal swab the day of the game and so on? And that's kind of what it's going to have to be. Right now in Vegas, you can, if you have more than 2,500 seats, you can put 10% in.
Right.
So that's not enough. 10% of 18,000 is 1,800. Can't make it on.
I know you had spoken up at Rock Creek with our buddy Dave Shane. Had a sit down with him, and we saw a lot of your comments. You said you were going to speak with the governor or try to get a feeling for where we're going. Anything in that regard?
I haven't talked to him. I'm going to wait till I get back in town and give him a call to see what he thinks, what he feels. I mean, we're doing a little better in Vegas in terms of the cases. It still isn't great, but it's not 2,000 a day.
What do you think? I mean, the big picture. Okay, yeah, Vegas, but just in terms of real estate, is this thing here for another year and a half, 2 years? I mean, I don't know. Who knows? We don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, my doctor says it's another year. I'm hopeful that we'll have a vaccine. I'll be first in line. I'm taking it. I want the vaccine. So I'm not.
Did you ever think you'd see something like this? It's insane.
It's really terrible. It's got everybody locked down. I mean, you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. We don't even go out to dinner anymore.
Yeah. Do you find you come strutting in here pretty good? No, you did, and because I talk a good game. We got to get on with our lives and this and that, and we get in here and we're the mask around people. You should do the right thing. But I'm telling you, it's that you're scarred mentally because I talk a good game. Let's get on with our lives. But somebody comes near me, I'm looking at them like they're radioactive. No, I mean, it's in your head. I'm just right, Steve.
I get freaked out at the grocery store when someone's in the same aisle as me. It's a whole different world, Bill. Now
it's terrible. It really is terrible. You got to be careful, and it's terrible. So I've been tested a bunch of times, and because I get exposed, and I want to make sure I'm okay.
So I lose sight of what you were saying. I still want to get away from that other. You meant Stevie asked you about the expanded rosters, and then seeing what the playing field will be for the AHL, that would have an impact on that. If that's not viable, then prospects are probably going to be around you guys in some fashion. There's just so much unknown.
There's so much unknown. And, I mean, we don't know when we're going to play, if we're going to play. I know the commissioner's dedicated to having a season and awarding the Stanley Cup, but you can't play in bubbles. It's impossible. You can't do it. You can't afford it.
You say, you documented it, how close you are and care about the players. And you don't want to take you set up whatever it was, whatever, $120 million. The players, 28% escrow. They were to the point where hopefully this was going to come down. Looked like there was going to be labor peace. I mean, from a timing perspective, it couldn't have come at a worse time. What are the players? Do they ever talk to you about the escrow and the plight they're in?
No, not really, because I think we're all just putting up with the situation we're in right now, and then, so they're surviving with it. They're still getting paychecks, and so they're pretty good guys, and most of them are smart, and they're saving their money and they're being careful. So they'll be okay. But if we don't have a season, then they won't be getting paid.
All right, let's get back to it, because I didn't want to get away from where you talked about the want for the two goalies. They're both competitors. They both want to play. Kelly McCrimmon said, whatever was reported or speculated, the relationship was good. But that mindset of having two guys that believe they're a number one goalie, it's a nice luxury to have, but there are intangibles that go with something like that.
We need two good goalies. We really do for this abbreviated season. Let's say it's a 56-game season. Whatever happens is they have to finish the playoffs by the end of June because the Olympics are in July. So, and NBC has the Olympics. So we season and all the playoffs sometime around the end of June. So we don't start.
You think that's the number? Less than 60?
Oh, I think it's less than 60. Yeah, I do. I think it's 48 or 56. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of games quickly, especially if we didn't start till February 1st. It's February, March, April. Then you get kind of into May, and you got to get the playoffs going. So it's 4 months, and you have 60 games hypothetically. That's 15 games a month. That's every other night. So we're going to be thankful that we have two really good goalies.
All right, what was your reaction when you saw the Alan Walsh picture? I mean, I can't imagine you were doing a cartwheel about that. What was your take on that?
Yeah, I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't do anything. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was appropriate. It was, and I don't feel that Flower really had a hand in it, to be honest with you. He's such a good guy, but I know he's upset that he wasn't starting. But he's over it. He's fine.
Well, I'm sure when you're a competitive guy, you wouldn't want someone rolling over who didn't want to play.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And we talked about it. We talked about what he wanted to do, and did he want to stay in Vegas? Did he want to get traded? Did he want to go somewhere and be a starting goalie? And my discussion with him was off the record. I mean, just what I told other people what we talked about. He said, "No, I want to compete. I want to be here. I love Las Vegas. I want to be part of this team." It's okay.
How about talk to me about Pete DeBoer now? Because basically, what were you looking at? Something in the 20-game range. I should remember. What was the exact number? Do you remember?
It was about 20.
Yeah, 20,
22.
Yeah. But then the bubble, and you weren't in the bubble. But the relationship for you with Pete DeBoer, what you're seeing here, what you think, what he brings to the table, and then the whole thing moving forward. But your relationship, because you are around this team all the time, and then you weren't. And this is the guy running the show on the bench. What do you make of DeBoer?
I think he's terrific. He's smart. He welcomes analytical input. He wants to get the analytics, and he wants to use those analytics to help him improve the way he deals with the team and the film he shows them, the clips he shows them. So he really endorses analytics, and that's important to us because we have a complete analytics department that was being underutilized under the previous administration. So Pete he's all in on it, and I think it's terrific. He's a very bright guy.
Is it fair that for him, he jumps in midstream and then we shut down and you come back and you got a camp and you go to the bubble thing? But are you more excited or not maybe excited isn't the word, but look to evaluate this guy starting an entire season, putting his stamp on it from day one? Is that one of the more exciting upsides for you, for him?
Absolutely. He started in mid-January, and he came in, basically we were on the road, and came in and took over and had to deal with all that. Now it's his team. Now he's the coach. So, and he's working hard every day. And he and his coaches worked so hard in analyzing teams, the teams we're going to play. We went through every team in detail for a couple of hours per team. He really gets it. He's a strong coach.
All right, third jersey, you got it out.
Finally.
Fine. Okay. Well, to talk about that process, because in retrospect, did you have a lot of input in that?
Well, I looked at the various models of the jerseys that they were doing, and we went through 7 iterations. So I dinged the first few. One was kind of yellow, and one was too recessive. It was kind of a mustard. So we kept on working toward getting this metallic jersey, and they finally got it done. And so it's a great looking jersey. It's the only metallic jersey in the league. It's shiny. When people wear those jerseys in the arena, they're going to pop out. They're not going to be overcome by the Blackhawks jerseys. And you go to a game against the Blackhawks, and they got 500, 600 people in the stands. Looks like they got 10,000.
To use your words, it's the big words, Steve, the iteration.
Okay, I'll look that up later.
Yes.
Let me write that down.
You got a new phone. Get to work.
I can't.
Google the interweb.
I can't spell it.
Will there be? You just got this thing out, and by the way, good for you. Christmas, good timing.
Yeah.
But are there future spin-offs? With the secondary logo or other combinations and things you can do with it, like a time frame. I know you just got this thing out, but are there do you look to the future with spin-offs of that have already been considered?
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay, one thing at a time. What I gotta ask you though, why not go whole hog? Why not the gold socks too? I mean, if you're gonna do it, no, come on, man. If you're gonna do it, there's like the old LA Kings pajamas. They're so hideous. They were great.
I leave the uniforms to someone else. I do like the.
We could have the whole town walking around in gold socks. It'd be fantastic.
Are you glad that's behind you? That was a long process.
Yeah, a year and a half. Ridiculous.
Was it a pain in the neck?
Well, yeah, because we're trying to get this thing done. I'm trying to have a third jersey. We finally have it now. It's a year late, but that's okay.
What do you say to the season ticket holders and the fans that are dying to go back? But like you said, okay, 25. What is it? Crowds of 2,500 or more. You can have 10%. So what are we looking at? A couple. How many people you getting in there?
1,800 right now.
Okay.
So that's not.
Well, who are those 1,800? You know what I mean? It's like what is the people now? People got their deposits in or whatever. What is the quandary for the season ticket?
I have no clue how it's going to work. I really don't. I think we need to get up to 40 or 50% attendance, and then we can come up with some kind of program where every game you can go to, that sort of thing. But with 1,800 people in the arena, that's not enough. That's not enough to really count as a fan.
How much do you miss, or did you miss, going down there and being part of what was becoming our normal?
I know.
Around here.
I know. I loved it. It's great. I miss it. That's my winter. My winter is going to games.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the timing of the whole thing, and again, we've talked about you guys all along that even when the Raiders come here, you guys were born here, and the passion of the fan base, in plenty of room. But how about with the Raiders? New step. I mean, imagine that, a brand new stadium, and you can't get. I mean, that's terrific.
It is. It's terrible. It's terrible. Now, the NFL has such a great TV contract that they can survive. It's really, we do not have that kind of contract, so it makes NHL is a game day activity, game day revenue. You don't have game day revenue, you don't survive.
The integrity of the league in dishing out the cup. Okay, that's a big part of it. Was the majority of the bubble in getting it done, was that just to complete the contractual TV stuff and from a dollar perspective, or was there any enhanced revenue that came in as a result of it, or was it just completing obligations?
Well, there's a little bit of revenue off if you advance in the playoffs, you get a little bit of revenue, but really that's all, again, game day revenue. That's where the big money is. It's ticket sales. And so we didn't have ticket sales. We got some TV revenue. It's pretty de minimis, honestly. It's not very good.
And again, the timing of it, I mean, you bring the Silver Knights. in the AHL, the oxygen tank is gate.
Yep.
How is, like I said, maybe you're willing to spend your money in parent clubs that can do it, but well, some of these teams are owned by successful businessmen. There's a side little thing, but they're not going to sit there and get pummeled doing this. How is the AHL viable without gate?
It's not really viable. I don't think they play if they can't get people in the stands. We're going to be playing at Orleans the next 2 years,
Which would be by the way, it's an incredible venue. There's not a bad seat in the house.
No, it's great.
As a bridge, that could have been set up better for you.
No, it's great. It's great. We just got to get fans. We need fans. It's we sold 10,500 season ticket deposits for the Silver Knights, which is pretty amazing.
No. You did your thing, and they were ready to go nuts. And then when one of those jerseys coming out, by the way?
December.
Christmas. I'm just trying to think here. The big landscape of this whole thing. If the AHL doesn't go, what was it? Was it a health minister in Ottawa? Yeah, you can have junior hockey with no checking. Yeah, the AHL prospects development, all this stuff. We just had the NHL draft. All these kids ready to start their journey.
I know.
Who knows?
Who knows? We don't know. When are we going to have a vaccine?
Have you guys discussed? I know you don't know, but have you considered things you can do to help these kids if leagues aren't playing?
Sure, I'm going to be practicing. Yeah, you bet. They'll be practicing and doing scrimmages and so on. But
are you coming up with ideas on your own, or is this stuff like from the league? Say, here are things that we're considering, or is this things the organization's considering?
Well, things we're considering, but the reality is the league, the NHL, tells us when we can do things and when we can't do things. So that's sort of we follow the lead. We're just one of the soldiers marching on.
How did the Rock Creek experience? I've been there. It's an incredible facility. I would think from a communication aspect, they're talking to each other. There's not the din of the crowd on the draft floor. Maybe a lot more Zooms and phone calls, but that facility, did it work at least on paper as good as it should have?
Absolutely, it was great. We had the amateur guys, all the amateur scouts were down in the Grange Hall for the amateur draft, and when the amateur draft was over, then it converted to the pro scouts. And the pro scouts all went in there, and we had another house that we were using for the pro scouts while the amateurs were still there. So no, it worked great. It was, and we had great communication. Made Zoom. It was really fun, and the guys loved it because they weren't then going back to a hotel and having to worry about what they said in front of people and people overhearing what they're saying at dinners, because it's all isolated. It was just members and our scouts, so they liked it.
You were we always had good fun, and you described in this for us, leading up to the expansion draft, that you had the setup where you could watch every shift of every guy. And you had the setup. This guy. And I know you used to talk like years ago. Oh, that Victor Hedman looked great here. No, but you were getting into it, but you were analyzing and watching. Are you still like that? Like for the draft, were you were up on who these kids that were going?
Yeah, not the amateur draft. No, I didn't really watch them. The amateur scouts did that, so it was just too complicated for me. But we have this thing called Nightcap, so we can watch any shift by any player. We don't watch the whole game. We just watch their shifts. So yeah, it's great. It's all part of it's a proprietary system that we developed.
Well, you threw a lot of potatoes at Petrangelo. How many times did you watch his videos?
Plenty.
What'd you see?
Plenty.
You got a hockey eye now, right? I mean,
he's a talent.
Describe his game. Be Bill Foley the scout.
Well, I mean, he's a great offensive defenseman. I mean, he really is. There's not a weakness in his game, and he's going to add a lot to us. Going to add scoring. He's going to work the power play. He's going to be. It's going to be a big. It's a big addition. I just wish we still had Schmitty here to play with him.
Bill, I got to circle back to Foley one more real quick time, because the way you answered it kind of piqued my. You said he wants to compete, so you've got two number ones, 1A, 1B. I think right now Leonard's thought of as 1A because of the playoffs. Has there been a discussion with DeBoer, with Leonard, with Fleury, that if at some point during the next season it's obvious that Fleury is 1A, again, is he competing to be a 1A at some point if that's possible?
Sure he is. Absolutely. Okay. He's competing. He wants to be 1A. But I think they're both 1A because we're going to need them both. Okay. If we play 56 games in 4 months, that's a lot of games, and there's not going to be break. There'll be a lot of back-to-backs. Basically, we're going to play 4 games a week to get this season done. Maybe even more. Maybe even 5 games a week. So we're going to be we have an advantage having 2 great goalies.
What would be I get a funny feeling what you might say. But remember the first year, this team was a rocket slide. It was fast, tilted the ice on teams. But then it evolved, and now it's a mix of size and speed. I don't know if hybrid's the word. But Gallant always used to say, we'll play our game. This team, to me, seems capable of playing any game. But how would you describe this team? What is this team's identity?
Well, I mean, we're still fast. We want to get up and down the ice quickly. We have a couple guys that aren't quite as fast, but the speed is still on that team. Look at Tuck, how fast Tuck is. Stevenson, watch him. The guy is quick.
Yes.
Waugh is quick. We've got a lot of really fast guys on this team. Riley Smith, the skip goes on with Carlson. We've got plenty of speed, and we got plenty of skill. For some reason, the puck just didn't go in the net in that Dallas series.
It did. Is it a one-off, or is it cause for concern?
I'm not concerned about it. I just think we got a little tight.
Well, it's funny. I said this in a weird way. Had you lost to Demko in Vancouver, we ran into a hot guy.
Yeah.
Right? It's a couple of games. Sucks we lost. We ran into a hot guy. But then almost by getting by him and then going and experiencing for numerous games the same plight against Dallas, does it change the mindset or the overall thought process?
No,
because it's a larger sample.
No, honestly, what they both did is they just clogged the middle. They had 5 guys in front of them. You do that. Arizona tried it, then they got their butt kicked. Eventually, they won a game, but they basically got their butt kicked. So we just have to be faster. We have to figure out how to get around and break down that situation because they're taking a big chance. They're losing their offense when you have 5 guys hanging around the net. So I'm confident. I'm very confident we're going to be just fine.
All right, so the Transo's here. Jersey's out. Season's behind you, and there's the great unknown. But from just a pure hockey perspective, how excited are you about the team you're going to put on the ice?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I just think we have so many components now, and they're all put together. The team's gelled more. We made a couple changes this year, but not every year. Every team has 2 or 3 guys that something happens to them. They move on. They do something else. And
I've asked you this whenever you come in. I kind of we always get to it because it's only been 3 years. But what have you learned this year? I mean, because you said all along that you're learning along the way, and you threw yourself into this. What did you learn this year?
Well, I mean, it's such a disruptive year. It was such a strange year, but I felt like getting this D1 defenseman was really important. I believe it's going to change the way we play.
Was the right shot, being a right-hand shot, a big part of that?
It's a big part of it. Yeah. We just have to wait and see, and hopefully we're going to play in front of fans, and we'll have to. If we play in front of fans, I don't think we can stop. I think we'll win anyway.
It's a very valid point that literally the only thing, you got by winning a round robin or whatever. And honestly, there were games where you saw the impact of having the last change did make a difference in several series and in games. But there is nothing like the us against the world mentality on the road or the din of a crowd that pushes you forward.
That's right. I mean, we've got such great fans. So we just have to all hope that we can get fans in the arena. And now we've still got 2.5 months to proposed start date. Maybe it's going to be 3.5 months, February 1st. So I think it's a February 1st start date.
All right, I got one issue that I'm a little confused by. You're at Rock Creek, outdoors, it's beautiful. And, outside, it's a lot safer outside. Why is your golf game bad? How did you not shave like...
I got better at it. I am.
What happened?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm short and steep, and so then I come out of my shots and I can't hit it. So I can't fix it. I can't. I don't know what's age, inability.
You got a pro there.
I take lessons all the time, and
they rattle your cage. They mess you up.
I was great on the lesson tee.
There you go. You got one for the road.
Now, where's Cody Glass in his recovery?
Yeah, he'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's good.
Are you excited about Krebs? What is he? What do
Yeah,
you think?
he's
what about him and Cam?
Yeah, so he's still young, but he went to the bubble. He actually earned his way to the bubble. So I don't know if he's going to be I don't know if he's junior again this year or if he's going to go to the HL. He's capable. He's good. And Cody Glass now weighs. He weighed 190 when he got hurt. Now he weighs about 210.
I heard he beefed out.
Yeah, 210.
Good for him.
Yep, strong guy.
Do you think he takes a large step forward?
Yep. Yeah, I do. He needs size. He needs size, strength.
Well, as always, you're incredibly gracious with your time. We don't take for granted. We thank you for coming in.
That was great seeing you.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
That was March. That was
a long time.
Unfortunately for us, the only person I see is him.
Was it March? Was it March?
It was like March 15th was a shutdown. And I think you came in the third week. It was shortly after it started, and it's been that long. Good to see you.
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming.
Yeah,
All right, we'll get the show up on Twitter at Brian Blessing. We'll get it on sportsradio.com. As always, thanks to Bill Foley for coming in. Stevie Slapshot, follow him on Twitter. Thank you for coming in again, Bill. DC March coming up next, folks. Have a great day.